What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another TLEV Media video. My name is Mystery, and today we're going to be back at Universal Studios Hollywood to talk about the newest, the biggest announcement for Halloween Horror Nights 2025. Alrighty, we just got past security, and now it's time to get into the park, and hopefully there will be an announcement. First stop, if there's an announcement, is of course going to be the Universal Studio store to see if there's any merch. But if there's an announcement, let's jump cut to that right now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got the announcement we've all been waiting for. Terrifier is coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2025.
Live the horror you love to watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring Terrifier and more.
Now, let me read to you what Halloween Horror Nights has to say about this brand new IP coming to this year's event. Welcome to the Funhouse. The twisted world of Art the Clown comes to life in this year's all-new Terrifier haunted house inspired by the slasher film franchise that has consistently terrorized filmgoers since 2008. During Halloween Horror Nights, guests will experience an unfathomable level of gore as they try to escape becoming Art the Clown's next victim. Terrifier is a grisly haunted house oozing with new sense of terror that takes guests into Art the Clown's gruesome funhouse, which first appeared in Terrifier 2. Guests will be overwhelmed by the sight, sound, smells, and dread of Art's grotesque kills gleefully displayed for all to see. As fans make their way through the claustrophobic corridors, they will encounter familiar faces, including Vicky and the little pale girl, and witness iconic kills from the franchise. Chaos reigns at the Clown Cafe, terror festers in a revolting bathroom, and holiday cheer turns deadly in a Christmas nightmare. Guests must escape Art's twisted world or become his next gruesome display. So there you have it. That is what has to be said about the maze currently for both Hollywood and Orlando. It's looking like we will be following all three of the Terrifier films, which I think is the best way of doing this maze, making sure that some of the most iconic kills from the franchises all get their time to shine. Now, this is not going to be a maze for everyone. This is going to be a very gory maze. It is not going to be like those mazes that we saw last year or even the previous year. I think Legacy of Leatherface out here in Hollywood is the closest that we can compare this maze to, but even that comparison is not even gonna get close to what Terrifier is gonna have to offer. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this IP to come into fruition. I know Damien Leone has been talking with Horror Nights for a very long time to bring this to the event, and now it's happening, ladies and gentlemen.
Already the merch is out, ladies and gentlemen, for Terrifier. There we go, we got a bag. What else we got coming? Not on the big one yet, not on the big stained glass just yet, but let's see. There's the other piece right there. Look at that. And there is the shirt. $33, I believe, for the shirt. Let's look and see. It actually might be a little bit more expensive because it's the ring shirt. So let's see. Let's see. 35 because it's a ring shirt. So, but yeah, here it is. But of course, we got to pick this up. So this piece is going to be going on the top right there. Interesting. I honestly thought it was going to be at the bottom right, but right there, top right. So yeah, this is crazy to see. Terrifier merch is here. I can't believe it's actually happening, guys. This is, what could I say? This is diabolical. But also, I forgot to say that the bag is also $35. So the bag and the shirt are both $35. So if you want both, It's gonna be $70 plus the piece if you don't have a pass. $8, so $78 before tax for all three things. So yeah, I mean, Terrifier merch, it's gonna sell out and it's gonna cost a pretty penny for sure, but it's some cool stuff already. And this is, remember, this is kind of like just the preview stuff. There's gonna be a lot more when the event actually begins.
Now let's go through some of the tweets that John Murdy put out there and those on the creative side for Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando about this year's Terrifier. To start off, we need to talk about Damien Leone, the director of the Terrifier trilogy, saying it's official, Terrifier is coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year. We are thrilled and honored and relieved to finally share this exciting news. This is set to be the bloodiest house yet, and the team at HHN truly knocked this attraction out of the park. You will get all of Art the Clown's greatest hits and then some. Here's some info on today's announcement, Terrifier. The house is going to be located in H Lot North, where Ghostbuster was in 2024. The Funhouse facade will start coming together now that it's been officially announced. Now, Grim Grinning Jen also asked, will this house be a splash zone? And John Murdy responded with, I'd bring a poncho. We asked John Murdy, scare actor in the front, maybe, possibly. And John Murdy responded with just a sinister laugh. I see Art the Clown in the great tradition of horror slasher icons, which there hasn't been many of late till Damien created Art. He deserves his place in that horror pantheon, and we're grateful to Damien for trusting us with his creation. We also have Ramon Paradoa from Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando saying, honored to have worked as the show director / writer for the Terrifier house at HHN 34. It's a blood-soaked love letter to all three films and the macabre world created by Damien Leone. No punches were pulled. Prepare to witness the goriest experience in Halloween Horror Nights history. So yes, they're really looking for making a record of gore for this year's Halloween Horror Nights, and I think honestly this is something the fans have been asking for. There's a lot of people who have talked about and criticized the event for getting a little soft, I guess, for newer fans and stuff like that. And well, with this IP, there's no way of going soft. The fact that Murdy is saying that we should bring a poncho through this maze, I am really not looking forward to that. That means there's gonna be some just water effects going on to make it seem like there's just blood gushing all over the place. So that is gonna be very interesting for sure. But all in all, I am excited to experience this maze. I can't wait to see what Art the Clown looks like inside the maze itself. And I really hope that they're going to implement Terrifier in other ways for this year's event and not just inside the maze. See, we've talked about it before and they've talked about it themselves. Art the Clown is an icon in itself. So use that to your disposal, and I really hope Hollywood does and makes this icon really highlighted for this year's event. I want Art the Clown merch all over the place. I want Art the Clown in the park. I want Art the Clown outside of the park. I want him everywhere. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this announcement. We still have a couple more to go, but I think this is pretty cool to hear that Terrifier is officially coming for this year's event.
Walking by Parisian Courtyard, and there is a little bit of change. More details have been added to the facade. As you can see, we got some foliage coming in. We got roots that have taken over the entire front of the facade. I'm wondering if there's gonna be more added throughout time, but this looks cool. We got vines, dried up vines, roots, all of that taken over. I'm assuming, you know, these boxes will be what's next to be detailed and added with a few probably like memorabilia stuff, but after that, honestly, it'll be walls coming down and we get to see the front a lot better, and that's exciting. That's very exciting. I love how this facade's already turning out. I'm very much hoping that these walls come down in the next month or so, and so that way we can get an entire look of what's going on. So while this project keeps going on for this hillside, I mean, look at this. This is nuts right now. We have a bit of an update for the Jason Universe facade. As you can see, they have brought in more foliage, more branches that are coming out a lot farther. So they're kind of covering up those metal pieces that we were talking about. So I don't think the top is going to be covered. Again, only time will tell. Since we'll just be in front of the facade, like we're located right now to look at it, it's not going to be, I mean, that's not going to be the viewpoint that we're going to have when we're waiting in line. The viewpoint is going to be just like straight in front of us, first person straight in front of us, and not from this aerial view. So I wouldn't be surprised if they leave the metal part on top uncovered like it is right now. All right, let's go get on the studio tour. Let's see what's going on construction wise. They might still be just working on the area by the Bates Motel, but let's go and check out how everything's going for that and for the other mazes.
Enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell to be notified every time we post a video. We got social media, it is TLEV Media all across the board. And with all that being said, my name is Mr. E, and I'll see you guys on the next extraordinary adventure.